God gives and gives and gives. It's not about scarcity. It's about God's abundance. That's what is the bottom line of the whole universe. Hello, this is Pastor Connie at Corning First United Methodist Church in the southern tier of New York State. I'm going to talk a little bit. I just want to say a few words about the story of the loaves and fishes from the Gospel of John. But just for the record, know that this story is in Matthew 14, Mark 6, and Luke 9. So if it's in all four Gospels, I think it's very important, and it's really trying to tell us something we need to know as Christians and followers of Jesus. And in light of the recent No Kings rallies, I think it's the Gospel of John version definitely comes across, and Jesus at the end, he knows they want to make him a king, and he's like, no dice, no way, not going to do it, and he goes off by himself to pray. So what was Jesus trying to get across to the crowd? I mean, there were hungry people, and he fed them, so that was a natural need being satisfied. But I think that Jesus was trying to say then and now, to give us the message about God's abundance, God's generosity, that God gives and gives and gives. It's not about scarcity. It's about God's abundance. That's what is the bottom line of the whole universe. And that we need to remember that and to share with that in mind, and to get through the tough times with that in mind. I think that what Jesus wants us to remember about this story is that when we come together to pray and just to be together in God's presence, there is such abundance that we share. And when we let God's presence and power work through us to share with each other, there is no limit to what can happen and how much can be shared. And when we stand together in God's presence and we share all that God gave us through Jesus, well, that's what we're going to need to do in these days ahead. We've got to remember that Jesus wanted justice, wanted good news for the poor, wanted us to feed the hungry. So sharing our bread and all of our resources, just as that young boy did in the story, we have to trust. That's what we need to do as God's people and Jesus followers.